Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I have 3 fun new journals. These are upcycled Reader's Digest book covers. I gutted the books last year sometime, and I've been trying to finish up unfinished projects and use up stuff that I've got accumulated. And so I've got these 3 journals ready to go. This one is Nostalgia, Floral Whimsy and Botanical. I used a stencil and modeling paste to get the design, the texture, and some cardstock to put ridges on my back, and then I painted some fabric that I used a few colors to custom make the color, and just did a little bit of sanding here and there to have some fun new books. They each have 4 signatures and about 176 pages. So let's go in to Nostalgia and take a look at her. This digital kit I got from Louisa Heinzel on Etsy. And I just layered up a few different patterns on the library pocket here. And I left the back open for a tag. And on this tag, it's on book page, but I used some of my flower pounding originals and stitched that around this tag and put an eyelet in it. And I've got some coffee dyed paper, and this is a parchment paper, some masking paper, and coffee dyed grid, an invoice, and my favorite, the tracing paper. And then we've got a manila drawing paper, and this is a new parchment paper. And here in the center of the signature, I made an envelope out of one of the pages from the kit, and inside is a piece from the flower pounding that I did. And this is an original. It has a tiny little bit of texture, which makes it kind of fun. And then I tea stained it after when I was done with the process. And to hold this envelope closed, I made a paper clip out of a slide. It's a die that I have, so I did some die cutting. And this is a pressed dried clover from my yard that I did last summer. And I just sandwiched it in some acrylic and stitched around it, and then put it inside the little folder for a little paper clip. And you can put that anywhere, of course. And in our second signature, I tried to make each signature a little bit different, using up all those old fun pages. I do have my favorite tracing paper in each signature in each book, though. Couldn't resist. And this is a fine art drawing paper here in this one. And this envelope, I folded the flap up and glued the sides and made it into little pockets on each side with tags. And then on the sides I opened it up and I made journaling cards from a tree observation book. And on the back, I just have a book page, and it was mostly blank space, so I left it the way it is. And then on this one, it has the font underneath, but I put some avocado dyed tracing paper over the top of it and stitched around it. So you can write on it, but yet you can still see the font if you want to read the poem. And they just live inside there. And the third signature, this one is a cinnamon coffee dyed, I believe. And here I've got a vintage Norwegian sheet music. More drawing paper. And here on this envelope, it's made from the design paper from the digital kit also, and another of the flower pounding originals. And the little library pocket paper clip, and it's got a little tiny piece of vintage ledger inside the pocket. All about the journaling. And then you can put that anywhere in the book that you'd like also. And the fourth signature, here I've got some ledger paper. In Edith Holden page from February. And parchment paper. And here I have another envelope, and I just tore some lined paper and inked it up and coffee dyed it and put that in the center for some lined journaling. And inside the pockets on the side, I made 2 cards using an index card, and I just covered up the side with the branding with some of the flower pounded original paper that I have, and then stitched around it. And on the back I have an Ex Libris book plate. And so this is Nostalgia. Here I've got Floral Whimsy. And I used about 3 different colors of paint to get this color. A red, cotton candy, and velvet gray. And the stencil is the negative of a die cut, and it's just a cluster or bouquet of roses. And I used a lot of avocado dyed paper in this one. And so here we have Floral Whimsy, and the library pocket. Again, I left it open in the back for the tag. And this is from the digital kit, and stitched around it with an eyelet. And this kit is from Genevieve Designs, called Floral Whimsy. This is a legal size sheet of paper so that it makes a really nice flip out. And here I've got a little slide paper clip again, and this is a pressed and dried sweet clover flower. And it's on an Edith Holden page. And this is a copy of a oil painting. It's a book that a very small book, more like a magazine type book that has some pictures of this man's work. And it was featured at the art museum. And so it was part of the advertisement. And it's some nice, heavy, thick card that they have it printed on. And it was done in 1986. And this one is called Wall in Manarola. But I thought the colors were beautiful for this book. And the second signature. And this is a Rhodia dot grid paper, and it took to the coffee dyeing so well. Has a nice texture and good coloring. And here I've got half of an envelope with the lined paper again. And inside, I made a journaling card out of book page and covered it with the avocado dyed paper, stitched around it. And here's another of his paintings. And here, the other half of the envelope with another journaling card. And the third signature. This is a parchment paper that I coffee dyed and dried in the oven on a rack. And here I've got a little library pocket paper clip with the little ledger sheet inside again. And that can be placed anywhere also. And here's another painting. And this one's a little hard for me to pronounce. Barsh of Vernaza. I don't know. I probably just massacred that name. But it's beautiful. All three of these books are available in my Etsy shop. And here's the fourth signature. And this is a deli paper. And here I have a little Tim Holtz pocket filled full of tags. And got a couple of cardstock And here's a plain manila cardstock. I made this one from a file folder. And this one is from the digital kit on a book page, and then with the avocado dyed tracing paper on the back and stitched around it again. And this one has 3 layers of avocado dyed paper. And this is just a little cardstock tag, double-sided. And then I just layered the stamp on a book page on some cheesecloth that I avocado dyed. And on the other side, here we have another painting. And this one's called Pier 39. With the Ex Libris plate, and I printed these from Graphics Fairy on the premium site. So this is Floral Whimsy. And here we have Botanical. And this is, again, the negative of some dies, a die cut that I place the flowers together and use the negative space for my stencil. Okay, and here in the library pocket, I've got another tag made out of the digital kit and left the back open for the tag. And I just have some coffee dyed shopping list lined paper on the back of this and stitched around it. And this is printed on 24-pound parchment paper for the anchor pages. And this kit is from Nick the Booksmith, or the Booksmith Shop on Etsy. And this is parchment paper, ledger. And here's a fun music page. And here in the center I have a craft envelope that I made. And inside that pocket is another flower pounding original. That's tea stain. And here I have another pressed flower from my yard in a slide with a paper clip. Isn't that beautiful? I just love this. And here's some fine art drawing paper. And here I have another envelope in the center. And I put it opposite this time so that the little flap for the pocket with a couple of tags is on the outside of each. And I've made a little journaling card with the tree observation book again. And the back of this, it had a little bit of font, and so I used the avocado dyed tracing paper so you can still read the poem. And on this one we have some birch trees, and it was full of font text, and so I used an accounting sheet to back this one so that you could write on it. So they're nice and sturdy journaling cards. I use nice heavyweight book page, and then I put a couple pages together, and it makes a real nice and firm tag. And here we're in the third signature already. And here I have a little library pocket paper clip with the ledger paper. In the center of this section, I used wallpaper to make an envelope, and I put a little belly band on it, and here's a little paper tag. And here's the flower pounding original. Had to cut it down to make it fit. And the fourth signature. And this ledger paper is a little bit different. It's more of a payroll type sheet. Fun colors. Here I have an envelope in the center again. And the little journaling cards have the flower pounding. And I just stitched around it. And these are the index cards that have letters on them. And again, I covered the branding, so they fit right inside the envelopes. Get them opened up. And with the Ex Libris book plate on the back again. So this is Botanical. And I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day.